For most, this is a very difficult subject, so let's just use some relaxing visuals. Unable to stress this enough, this is the first thing families dealing with addiction must understand for the sake of their own sanity. Robin Williams once described alcoholic blackouts as, not really blackouts, more like sleepwalking with activities. While the description does sound humorous, it captures an extraordinary reality that reaps havoc in the lives of family members who are dealing with a loved one's addiction, and this phenomenon is crucial to understand. For most of us caught up in the here and now, this issue doesn't even register, and we remain numb to the reality of what's happening, and this denial, or oblivion, can persist for years, subliminally shaping our lives in ways we may never recognize. With drunken confrontations almost inevitable, the words and actions of someone in a blackout can cut deeply, leaving lasting emotional scars and the potential to generate mental issues for family members, and this is the first issue to respect and understand. Frustrating beyond normal comprehension, volatile incidents are often erased from the addict's memory, as if they never happened, leaving the family to grapple with the fallout while the addict remains oblivious and perfectly calm. This disconnect is the cruel paradox families face when dealing with a loved one lost in the grip of addiction and trapped by delusions. So regardless of what happens and what is said, with the event erased, as if to have never happened in the first place, this is the cruel paradox families face, trying to reason with someone whose reality is fractured by delusions and whose actions leave behind chaos they can't even recall. Effectively, regardless of a family's reality, blackouts provide an alcoholic with the ultimate defense to any argument: complete memory loss. Naturally, this can leave family members stewing over unresolved issues for hours, even days, determined to readdress an issue, but realistically there's no point if the person you're talking to has no recognition of a conversation you claim took place. However, moving on from the annoyance this provokes, alcohol-induced blackouts, often misunderstood as a complete loss of consciousness, are not true blackouts in the traditional sense but are more akin to a state of dissociated consciousness. In this state, individuals can appear fully awake and engaged in activities but later have no memory of their actions. This phenomenon, which is a result of alcohol impairing the brain's ability to form new memories, poses significant dangers due to the combination of apparent functionality and cognitive impairment, and this is why the notion of a functioning alcoholic is a misleading and dangerous fallacy for care persons. When things appear normal, families often overlook the reality that they are for the most part not dealing with someone capable of sound reasoning. This misunderstanding sets the stage for conflict, as families naturally expect better judgment from the alcoholic, especially when that person seems to manage their responsibilities, such as holding a job, maintaining relationships, or fulfilling societal roles. It's a perfectly reasonable expectation, but it's based on a dangerous illusion. What looks like control or functionality is merely a facade, masking the insidious effects of alcohol dependency. Alcohol addiction, by its very nature, is progressive and corrosive. Beneath the surface of apparent normalcy, the cracks are inevitable. Health deteriorates, relationships fray, and job performance declines, even if these issues remain hidden for a time. This illusion of functionality not only delays the family's recognition of the problem but also prevents the individual from acknowledging the growing toll of their addiction. As a result, the cycle of denial, conflict, and destruction continues unchecked, making it even harder to break free from the grip of alcoholism. So, what must family members do to protect their own mental well-being? There is no doubt, family members dealing with alcoholism must prioritize their own safety. While this statement may sound dramatic, it reflects an undeniable truth, affirmed by countless others who have endured the same challenges. Protecting yourself is not just a precaution, it is a necessity in navigating the chaos and unpredictability that often accompanies a loved one's addiction. Nobody is suggesting it's going to be easy, but dealing with an alcoholic family member can be emotionally exhausting. Thus, prioritizing your own mental well-being is crucial. The first step is setting and maintaining clear boundaries to protect yourself from harmful behaviors. Communicate these boundaries compassionately but firmly, making it clear what you will and won't tolerate, such as verbal abuse or financial exploitation. Equally critical is the need to avoid enabling behaviors. While the instinct to help is natural, actions such as covering up mistakes or offering undue support can unintentionally sustain the cycle of addiction. Allowing the individual to face the natural consequences of their drinking is often a more effective way to motivate them to seek help. Seeking emotional support and focusing on self-care are essential to navigating this challenging situation. Joining support groups like Al-Anon or seeking therapy can provide a safe space to share experiences, gain perspective, and learn effective coping strategies. Understanding addiction as a chronic disease rather than a personal failing can also help you approach the situation with empathy while setting realistic expectations. Self-care, whether through exercise, meditation, hobbies, or simply spending time with supportive friends, is vital to replenish your emotional reserves and maintain resilience. It's just a fact, you can't effectively support your loved one if you're emotionally or physically depleted. Ultimately, it's crucial to understand that you are neither responsible for their addiction nor their recovery. While you can provide encouragement and support, the decision to seek treatment rests entirely with them, not you. Overstepping boundaries or exerting excessive pressure can backfire, especially if the person remains in denial, often leading to resistance and resentment, driving them further into defensiveness isolation. True progress begins when the individual acknowledges their own need for change, not from external coercion. By respecting their autonomy while setting firm boundaries, you create a space where they are more likely to confront their situation on their own terms. And remember, by balancing support for your loved one with care for yourself, you can navigate this difficult journey without losing sight of your own well-being. Let's go out today with Craig Ferguson, back in 2007 offering some of his own advice on the subject.
Now, all of us in America and in Scotland and anywhere I've ever been in my life, everybody knows an alcoholic. They're either they've worked for one, or they have one work for them, they have a parent or a sibling or a child. Everybody, there's not one of us. It does a friend, God forbid some of you poor people are married to them. You know what it's like. Now, I have found this. You can't beat it with money. If you could beat this rap with money, rich people wouldn't die. You can't. For me, only for me, and I only speak for myself, so I've got to stress this to you, I have found that the only way I could deal with it is find other people who had similar experiences and talk to them. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost a thing. And they're very, very easy to find. They're very near the front of the telephone book. Good luck.